Hey folks, Hans from GNAT News. Today I'm here in Dorset, and I've got a question on my mind, and that is, what is the Dolly Parton Imagination Library? Behind me is Nicole of Dorset, and she's going to give us all the details, so let's go talk to her. Hi Nicole, thanks so much for having us here today.
Thank you.
And those words, Dolly Parton and the Imagination Library, I've got that all right, right?
Yep.
Okay, really cool. What is it?
So Shire Kids is the local nonprofit that is the sponsor for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library here in Bennington County and the town of Danby.
Got it.
So it's a free book gifting program that mails a new age-appropriate book every month to the enrolled children's home until their 5th birthday. So the books that come are, like I said, they're age appropriate and there's no cost to the families enrolled. It's a free program for the children and for their parents, for their families.
So you're almost saying that if I'm a child, every month from 0 to 5,
Yes.
this wonderful gift is going to come with my name on it in the mail?
In the mail, yep, with your name on it, all for you to keep. Children that are enrolled at birth in the Imagination Library will have a home library of 60 books from the Imagination Library when they graduate.
You know, how did you even find out about this?
So before my family moved to Vermont, we lived in Washington, D.C., and the program's available in Washington, D.C. So it was started by Dolly in 1995 in Tennessee, in her home state, her home county, and then her home state. And eventually the Dolly Parton Foundation replicated the program so it could be brought to any community in the United States and actually 4 other countries. It's available now as well, Canada, the UK, Ireland, and Australia. But that local community has to have a nonprofit who runs it. So they enroll the children, they do all the administrative work, the data input, data management, updating, book orders, you know, all the work for your local program. But the books do come from, they're all produced for the Imagination Library programs, and so that is managed by the Dolly Parton Foundation. So I mentioned it was available in DC,
Yeah.
where we used to live, and so I was just a mom with a new baby, and my neighbor told me about it, and so I enrolled my child, and for a year and a half or so we just got free books in the mail every month, and it was amazing, and they were some really fun books that we still have today, and books that I may not have picked at the bookstore, at the library, so I really love the variety of books that come. We moved to Vermont and I learned that the program wasn't available here.
Right. I'd never heard about it.
So it didn't have a local sponsor. It is available in some other communities around Vermont. Addison County Readers up in Middlebury, they've been in existence for about 10 years, so they've had the program. So, so I started looking it up and figuring out how it worked, and that was when I first realized how the Dolly Parton Foundation runs this program, and that there is this local nonprofit that needs to run each individual program. So I started talking with, you know, librarians, pediatricians, early education specialists, speech therapists, literacy nonprofits, just to get an understanding of like early childhood literacy in the area. And they all were very supportive of the program, but it is a big undertaking. So an existing nonprofit didn't want to bring it under their program, so that's when I decided to found Shire Kids.
If other counties saw this and people said yes, would you consider yourself a trainer? Could I contact you to?
I encourage everyone I talk to start this program. So especially,
yes, I agree.
I get inquiries from both parents in Windham County, Windsor County, Rutland County about the program, from parents and also pediatricians. I've created a really great network of Enrollment Partners, so they're the ones that are in touch with these families on a regular basis.
Okay.
And so they sign up the children and send me the forms, and so then I'll add the children into our program. And so after working with pediatricians that straddle those county lines, they're saying, you know, we would really love this program in Rutland or in Brattleboro, and I strongly encourage it for any existing nonprofits that might want to.
It feels like a no-brainer. This should be a Vermont program.
Yes. Something I've talked to the pediatricians and the like social care workers about is that the program is unique in that way, that the
Yeah.
book goes directly to the home every month for a sustained period of time. The longevity of the program, to have a book coming every month for 5 years is really impactful.
It's terrific. If I have 2 kids under the age of 5, does that change things, or?
No, they enroll, each one is enrolled. So the books are age appropriate, so each year gets a different book. If your children are twins or if they were born in the same year, they
Right.
would get the same book, but otherwise they'd each be receiving their own age appropriate book until they age out. One of our great supporters, she's a friend, had 3 children under 5 when we first started it, and so all of them were enrolled, and then the oldest
for
one
her.
did turn 5.
And if I was a dad enrolled in the program, how much are you going to charge me to do this?
It's free. So the program is completely free to the families enrolled. There's no cost. There never would be a cost. We don't ask the families for donations or anything like that. We, very strongly want this to be a shared experience available to all, and there is no cost associated with it. We do fundraise regularly to support the program and to pay for it, because
tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So Shire Kids does pay for the books that go out. That's part of the agreement. Is the local nonprofit pays for the books at a reduced rate that is negotiated by the Dolly Parton Foundation. So there is a low cost. It comes out to approximately $25 per child per year that's enrolled. And so back to that, we certainly would take a donation from anyone, of course, but we'll never ask families for those donations. That's the point of the program, is to be a free program for everyone to enjoy and just to encourage reading and literacy.
How long have you been doing the program?
So we launched in July of 2019, so just over a year.
Right. And how many kids?
And we've enrolled 950 kids,
Wow.
And about 120 of those have aged out of the program or moved away. So our current enrollment, I think I checked this morning, was 841 children in Bennington. And just to put that in perspective, the census information that we were working with is that the total population of children from birth to 5 in Bennington County is 1,600 children. So we have enrolled over half of the children
That's terrific.
so far, which went far beyond our plans or expectations in the first year.
I'm a 6-year-old, and this wonderful thing has been going on for 5 years. Do you ever see the program?
Expand.
Do you ever see more work for yourself?
Yes, I do, and I actually was just reading about this week. So the Dolly Parton Foundation is piloting a program right now in Tennessee that does address the kindergarten through 3rd grade, which is, if you talk to any reading specialist or early education, that is so developmental in a child's learning to read, that kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. And so they are piloting a program that I'm sure won't be available to, we're not able to replicate it yet, but I have had that question from especially pediatricians and social care workers, is how do we support those older children and middle schoolers? That's another area where reading and continuing interest in learning and love of libraries during middle school is so important to get them ready for high school and really engage in learning.
What would you hope to see finally for this program? All the way up through 12th grade?
I'm focusing Shire Kids on what we've endeavored so far right now. I really want to have secure funding to make sure we can grow as much as we've grown in this 1 year without worry of being able to sustain the program. I think the next steps would be either working with nonprofits in our surrounding counties to initiate the programs there, because I see the need there and I hear about it all the time from both the parents and pediatricians, like I've mentioned, and then starting to address those older children, possibly. I mean, I haven't written our 5-year plan yet, but it's formulating in my head, and it'll hopefully be in there. But really just solidifying our funding for the Imagination Library in Bennington County is my day in, day out.
Making sure the magic never leaves.
Yes.
It's always there for us.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. Any parting thoughts that you want to give?
Sign up if you have a child at home. If you're a parent, grandparent, if you have a child in your home, please register. You can go to the Shire Kids website, which is shirekidsvt.org, or directly on the Imagination Library website, which is imaginationlibrary.com.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you.